And here we have the blue screen of... Oh, wait, no, this isn't the blue screen of death at all. This is Final Fantasy 1. Or Final Fantasy with no Roman numerals after it. Yes, this is back on the NES, and came out in the 80s. Kind of a fun game. Bit of a slog, I suppose, because there's really no plot other than what you see on the screen now. And it's a little bit different, but we're not going to play normal Final Fantasy 1. That would be a little boring. So here we go. So you might notice here that this is a little different from later entries in the series. You can make all 4 characters and name them right in the beginning. And usually you'd pick a balanced party. You'd pick, a fighter or 2, maybe a black belt, a black mage and a white mage, or some combo with a red mage to give you full offensive and defensive coverage. And here we're going to name them things like Merlin and Thanos and whatever else. I don't get bored with naming them. But some people go for a little added challenge. You can go 4 fighters, 4 black mages, even 4 white mages I hear is viable. But today, we're just going to go with a single black belt. So these guys are kind of throwaway. I don't really care what I name them. But we got to name them after a great fighter, so let's go with Kenshiro. Or, well, Ken, because that's all that's going to fit. And here we go. So right here you see this is your overworld. Now we have a black mage in the front. That's abnormal. Usually you don't have that. But he's character 1 in the lineup, so he's going to be first. And you get a cool sprite there. Now we're going to go in the forest and look for an enemy to fight. We're going to look at our status. You're going to see that black mage has decent stats. You're not a great fighter, but wait a minute. Black belt stats are somehow worse than that. That's kind of crazy, right? I mean, you got more evade on the black mage. You do have 1 extra point of defense and 1 extra point of attack on your black belt, but that was about it. We're going to look at that again. Look. Here you have 5 in strength and agility and intelligence and luck, and 20 vitality, I guess, because you need to be able to take hits, but that's really awful stats. So that might tell you early on that the black mage is the better character right here, and a black belt is not very good in the beginning. You can see these other guys. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty bad. Well, that being said, we're going to need to go to town and get some weapons and armor at first. The black belt isn't going to need that later, but for right now, that might be kind of important. So here we are in Conaria as opposed to Cornaria. You can see that when you buy your weapon, it doesn't actually tell you who can use what. I just happen to know that he uses the wooden nunchucks. And let's go get him wooden armor too. Yet again, there's no indication of who can use what. That does not mean your black mages can use chainmail, of course. Now we have to equip it because, of course, this is Final Fantasy 1 and it's very annoying. You have to do everything manually. It's pretty interesting if you play the later games in the series to see what this was like. Okay, we're all equipped. Let's take a look at his stats now. And you can see that's significantly better. 15 damage and 4 defense. That's at least reasonable. Won't die in a hit at least. So now, I said before that we're going with a single black belt party. But you might notice that this is not a single black belt party, there's a bunch of black mages. Well, Kenshiro is always fueled by tragedy, so let's give him some of that. As you can see, this does take a little while. In Final Fantasy I, the higher up you are on that screen in your marching order is how often you're going to get hit. So the guy in that bottom position doesn't get hit a lot. The guy in the top position gets hit quite a bit. And unlike some of the later games, you can't attack your own party to speed this up, so I apologize, but this does take a little while to kill everybody off. And it looks like now, good old Kenshiro has to carry around 3 corpses for the rest of his life. Not fun for him, but it'll be a lot of fun for us in a little while. Right now, when the game starts, this turns out to be a little bit grind heavy. Also, I'd like to make note here that this was not my first attempt at this. I actually had a couple total party kills first. It took me quite a while to get to a spot where I could do it. Save our game. Alright, so we'll leave our town, and we're going to have to grind a little bit. Which, as I said, can be a bit of a slog. Now you notice you can hit enough to kill them, which is nice. That's because of the nunchucks. We'll get there with the fists, but that really doesn't start until shortly around level 10. Now, I'm almost dead already, so let's go back and heal up at the end. Hey, it's a level up. We can look at our stats again, and they were considerably better by about 1 point. But, you know, damage 4 really, he's not very good. You can see that when I unequip, Absorb is now 2. It matches my level. He scales directly with level in terms of defense, as well as offense. That's his natural defense and offense. We'll see more of that later. Right now it's cheaper to stay in the inn than buy potions, so we're just going to keep doing that. Fight some more imps. And, you know, this is really how the game starts out. For any party, really, you have to grind a little bit, though you have to do it a little more with this black belt. Unfortunately, you know, this is a one-person party, so the rules are a little different here. Things that would be harder become easier, and things that would be easy become harder. It's strange. And unfortunately, with one person, it's fairly easy to get killed. That's especially true at this level. Now, normally, every enemy you fight gives you some extra experience. You know, there's a certain value. Imps, I believe, give you 15, and it's split 4 ways. So when you're fighting as a single person, you level 4 times faster, which is pretty great. Except when things like that happen and you die. Well, okay, let's try again. Another enemy you could fight here is a mad pony. Probably should have run, because I don't think I'm going to survive this fight either. No. Yeah. Okay, back to the drawing board. And we're probably all the way back at level 2 now. Maybe. Could even be level 1. Well, the good thing to note is that after this grind, things do speed up significantly. Most things give a lot more experience than imps, but right now, this is a bit of a slog. looks like that's where we level again. So let's check out good old Kenshiro stats. And it looks like your natural absorb would be 3. It's 4 now with the armor, and that damage of 16 is almost entirely from the nunchucks. His natural offense should be 6, maybe? Let's check it out. We'll remove the weapons, we'll remove the armor, and I can find out where they would be. Yeah, 6 and 3. So those aren't great stats. Still going to be stuck using armor and a nunchuck for a while. Alright, and we'll end here for this episode of Late Night Nerdery. I'm your host, Mr. Late Night. We'll catch you again next time.